This is the first of 3 short videos reviewing the basics of solving. This video will focus on solving linear equations. Solving is often what people think of when they think of doing math. Solving implies there is an equation. An equation has an equal sign, so something like x plus 2 equals to 10 is an equation. And you can think of an equation as having 2 sides. We have a left side to the equation and a right side. One of the basic rules of solving is that we must always do the same thing to both sides of the equation. Another way of thinking about that is we have to keep the equation balanced by doing the same thing to both sides. Along that line, here are 4 basic ideas. When solving, we will undo addition by using subtraction. We will undo subtraction by using addition. We will undo multiplication by using division. And we will undo division by using multiplication. So we'll do 4 examples that kind of underline these 4 ideas, and then we'll branch out a bit from there. So let's say we had the equation x plus 2 equals 10, this first one here. In order to solve for x, it means we want to get x alone on, in this case, the left side of the equal sign. So I can undo the adding 2 by subtracting 2 from both sides of our equation. That leaves x alone on the left-hand side. And on the right-hand side, we do the subtraction, and 10 minus 2 is 8. So our solution to this first equation is x equals 8. Our second problem gives us x minus 3 equaling 8. Here's a good example of where we can undo subtraction through addition. So I can add 3 to both sides of our equation, and that leaves just x alone on the left-hand side. We've moved the 3 to the other side, and 8 plus 3 gives us 11, so our solution here is x equals 11. Our next example says that 5x is equal to 10. So 5 times x equaling 10 tells us we can undo multiplying by 5 by dividing both sides of our equation by 5. This again frees up the x on the left side of our equation, and on the right hand side, if we do the division, 10 divided by 5 gives us 2 as the solution to this equation. Last but not least, we have x divided by 4 equaling negative 6. So here we're dividing by 4, therefore to undo dividing, I'll multiply both sides of the equation by 4. So I'm going to multiply on this side by 4 and on this side by 4. This frees up x on the left-hand side of the equation. On the right-hand side, negative 6 times 4 gives us negative 24, and that would be the solution. So those are 4 examples just showing each of those little ideas in action. First, we saw undoing addition by subtraction. Second, we saw undoing subtraction by addition. Third, we saw undoing multiplication by division. And then we saw undoing division by multiplication. So let's put a few of these ideas together and try just 2 more. So the next example says 5x minus 10 equals 15. Here our goal is still the same. We're trying to solve for x or get x alone on one side of the equation. So let's start this problem by undoing the subtraction by addition. So I will add 10 to both sides of this equation in an effort to start getting x alone. This leaves 5x on the left, and on the right, if we add up 15 and 10, we have 25. So our new equation says 5x equals 25. Here we see that undoing the multiplying by 5 would look like dividing both sides by 5. And our solution here would be 5, since 25 divided by 5 is 5. So once again, putting together those steps we saw in the previous examples, just doing multiple steps in one problem. Our last example says that x divided by 2 plus 3 is equal to negative 9. So let's start this one off by undoing the addition. So we'll subtract 3 from both sides, leaving x divided by 2 is equal to negative 12. So negative 9 minus 3 was negative 12. Since we're dividing by 2, the next step will be to undo division through multiplication. And multiplying both sides of this equation by 2 leaves x on the left side and negative 12 times 2 giving negative 24 on the right hand side. So a few more examples. Please note that for any of these problems you can easily check your work by plugging back into the original equation. For example, in my first example on this page, 5 times 5 is 25, minus 10 is 15. So that just shows that plugging in our solution of 5 does create a true statement. So this was a short review of solving linear equations. If you feel comfortable, please try out the practice exercises for this topic.